Thank you for tuning in to NSN, the best sports news channel in Europe. England has a promising chance to bring home the World Cup trophy today after 56 consecutive years.
The Phoenix Suns could win the NBA Finals for the first time ever since being in the first seed.
YouTube influencer Jake Paul accepts the undefeated Khabib's offer.
The women's netball team going gold for the Quad Series.
Thank you, Tom. Bill, how's it going in Qatar Stadium?
So Dave, what do you think of the situation with England and the 2022 World Cup in the Qatar? Do you think England have a high chance of winning this match after 56 years?
Well, you see, I don't know about that one, Bill. I think that the international squad will be fired up after losing the Euro 2020. However, the pressure will build up on them massively.
I mean, England facing Argentina, that would be a spectacle to witness. Lionel Messi coming up against England defence, both wanting the trophy as bad as each other.
Let's score predictions here then, Bill. How do you reckon this game of the year will turn out?
You see, that's a hard call to predict. But I can see this being a very large score. That has no clear winner. It will definitely be a match to remember, however. I reckon the scoreline will probably be 3-2 or 3-3 to either side, but they both have a huge chance of winning this competition.
All right, Bill, let's move on to a different section of football now. Let's talk about that last Champions League winners getting out into the group stages. What's your opinions on that?
I thought that was an absolute gobsmack in my opinion, Dave. Bayern Munich, one of the favourites to win back-to-back, have already gone out of the group stages. My biggest disappointment, however, is Robert Lewandowski not scoring a singular goal at all, especially with being one of the best strikers in all of world football. It's just a really disappointing thing to see.
Speaking of strikers, let's talk about Timo Werner. What a start to the season he has had. 15 appearances and 17 goals with 12 assists. Extremely unexpected in the world-class striker at the top of his game. Chelsea FC have needed this striker to perform, and with the form they're on at the moment, they'll have a huge chance to win the quadruple, being the Champions League, the FA Cup, Premier League and the Super Cup.
World class. Absolutely world class. If not the best strikers in the world at the moment.
Thomas Tuchel has really made him a huge key player to this unbelievable side.
He really has, in my opinion. The best manager this season, only just above Pep Guardiola.
Anyway, Bill, our time is running short, so we'll have to wrap up now.
This has been Dave and Bill on NSN tonight. We'll see you in the not-so-distant future.
Welcome to the world of MMA. When this news hit our front desk, we didn't even know to believe it.
My money is on Khabib. I do not think Jake will be able to handle the champion in the ring.
I'm going to have to agree with you there. It will be a shock for Jake Paul to face such a skilled fighter in his prime.
There are a few short leaks that show Jake Paul is training hard for this fight.
I've seen that too, but will it be enough for the huge fight which might tackle his undefeated record?
Only time will tell, but I believe Jake Paul is fully switching to MMA, so we'll be seeing a lot of his fights in the future.
That will be a sight to see.
Indeed it will. This is a very good decision on Khabib's side because the amount of money that will be earned to see this fight will just be unmatched.
I do believe the revenue earned from this fight will be a lot more than Khabib's average fight.
I think it's because of Jake Paul's hateable persona displayed on online to advertise his fights. A lot of people want to see his face smashed in.
Jake Paul is the best at advertising his fights.
He is, definitely. A very clever persona on the business side of his career.
There have been a lot of headlines happening in the YouTube boxing world as well.
Yes, the YouTuber Deji has been announced to fight the YouTuber Alex Wasabi.
This is a redemption fight for Deji because he lost both of his fights against Jake Paul and Vinny Hacker.
I believe all he needs to do is train. I think he could be one of the best YouTube fighters, but he doesn't put 100% effort into his work.
The power is all there, but his stamina and speed needs to be worked on.
I 100% agree, Chris.
Have you seen the leaked footage of Deji training?
I have. He looks like he has improved a lot since his last fight.
Since he took a 5-month break from YouTube to focus on his training, you can tell he took it a lot more seriously.
I don't know, but something has clicked inside of his head to tell him that you cannot cheat boxing.
I do believe March 5th we are going to see something special.
I do agree. I just got a message saying that Khabib has accepted Jake Paul's offer and they'll be fighting very, very soon.
This is going to be a crazy night. It must have been a big offer to get Khabib's attention.
I believe the offer was around $85 million.
That is a lot of money for one fight.
It really is. We'll keep you all updated with the world of MMA.
This has been Chris and Ahmed sharing the world of MMA on NSN.
Could the Phoenix Suns win their first championship, or will it be a repeat from last year? Dick, what do you think?
Well, the Suns have been masterclass this season. You can't even disagree that Chris Paul deserves a ring after all the seasons he has played and continuously putting up great numbers. Chris Paul is averaging 14.5 points per game, 4.4 rebound per game, 10.1 assists per game on his 16th season as a guard at 36 years. Plus, with the help of Devin Booker averaging 25 points per game, 5.6 rebounds per game, and 4.4 assists per game. You can't tell me that isn't wonderful.
Absolutely. The older guys in the league are the most experienced, hands down. You're speaking facts, Dick. Absolute facts. But we can both agree that the Chicago Bulls, the Miami Heat are threats.
Yeah, the Bucks, the Bulls, the Suns, and the Heat are threats. These teams fold in the playoffs, and it can't be down to the Lakers or the Nets.
True.
Yeah,
Like a piece of paper.
you're not funny.
You're right about that.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we should move on about the NBA 75th anniversary. We all knew that LeBron, Kobe, and Mike were going to be in it, even down to players such as Allen Iverson, Karl Malone, Clyde Drexler, and many more players.
But none of these players are starting from Dwight Howard, Klay Thompson, Kyrie Irving, Draymond Green, Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, Paul George, Manu Ginobili, Paul Gasol did not make the NBA 75th anniversary team. How? These players have made an impact onto the league and on and off the court. Kyrie and Klay, why? Vince and Tracy, that doesn't make sense. Any sense?
Doesn't.
Loads of fans are wondering why most of these players are not on the list.
Obviously, the 75th anniversary was made for multiple people, from players, coaches, staff, even down to fans. But how are some of these players not on the list?
Most of the players are all-time greats, and some players have changed the way of the game, just from their performance. But I'm going to say that even if you put 110% in the game, sometimes it may come short.
It's true. Many players have devoted their whole entire life to the game, and they get nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing. Jeez.
Unfortunately, that's all we have today for basketball.
Now, we will be back after the break with Stella and Nicola bringing what's big in netball.
It has been over 35 months since the last time England, Australia, South Africa and New Zealand has contested in the last Quad Series. These 4 countries are 4 of the best sides in the world.
Waiting for this has felt like a lifetime. Lots of tension and anticipation has been building up amongst everyone.
A lot of people have been talking about this competition, which has naturally sparked conversation involving the Commonwealth Games and England's preparations for that.
Yes, everyone is hoping that England will keep their gold medal that they won in Australia's Gold Coast in 2018.
We're all hoping so. But the England team has never won a Quad Series, so we've brought on a special guest, Serena Guthrie, Women's Netball Team Captain, to tell us more about her thoughts of the upcoming Quad Series and Commonwealth Games.
So Serena, what are your plans for the upcoming competitions?
We're going to be making this Quad Series less about winning and more about finding the best 7 starting players for our team and checking out the opposition.
Do you think your team is well prepared for these upcoming matches?
Of course. We've been out training mostly every day for hours. Everyone's very optimistic and ready for these upcoming competitions.
Is there anything that you're doing different to last time?
We've taken on a couple new players. They're very talented. We're making sure to not overwork anyone and making sure that everyone gets days off.
That's what we love to hear. We wish you and the team the very best of luck.
Thank you very much for having me.
That's all for today, guys. Remember to tune in next week for more netball news. Thank you for listening.
Those were all the updates on the universe of sports.
If you want to keep up to date live, follow our Twitter at NSN Live or Instagram at LiveNSN.
This has been your hosts, Tom Parker and Martin Goodwell, and we'll see you 8 p.m. tomorrow. Good night.